Hello, everyone. You are welcome to Anchor Network, where you get reliable and authentic news that are so crucial to you. I say big thank you to everyone who has been part of this channel and who has taken time to subscribe. And if you are yet to subscribe, I say please click the red subscribe button and also the bell icon. The bell icon will allow you to get notified anytime we publish any news. Oil bunkering not a crime. Ministerial nominee Godi Jedi Agba. Ministerial nominee from Cross River State and former Group General Managing of Crude Oil Marketing of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, Godijeda Agba, on Monday said oil bunkering was a legitimate activity in the business of oil and gas industry. Responding to questions during a screening by the Senate on Monday, he said bunkering is not a crime, adding that people had a wrong notion of what bunkering was all about. He described bunkering as the refueling of ships which transport crude oil on the high seas, noting that ships spent months to reach destination, hence bunkers were needed at that point. There is a wrong understanding of oil bunkering and I want to correct it here, and that oil bunkering is not a crime. Ships transporting crude oil abroad spend months on high seas. It is bunkers that supply fuel, so it is a legitimate business and not the way it is understood to us. In his response to Senator Matthew Urogide on what he would do to stop topping, the nominee said, like bunkering, toppings is not possible at the point of loading, describing toppings as loading beyond the normal measurements. He said it was particularly impossible because about 19 agencies monitor crude oil loading at all times. The former general manager said he would add revenue agency among the agencies of government if he eventually become the Minister of Petroleum. He lamented the obsolete laws currently operated in the oil and gas industry, saying those laws were meant to protect the interests of foreign oil majors. Nigeria operates obsolete oil laws, and that is creating serious problems because we will still operate OIC laws which were meant to service oil business interests of foreigners. Our pipelines are as old as our refineries. Crude oil is corrosive, and when pipeline becomes old, it cannot withstand the pressure of oil pumping, and that is why we have cases of explosion. Crude oil production is capital intensive, which costs about $20 million for 3 or 4 cargoes, and no bank in Nigeria could give out that kind of loan. Bunkering is not a crime, but the term has been wrongly used. Bunkering is a legitimate oil activity. Topping is also wrongly used, and it is not wrong to do toppings. Toppings of oil is done in the presence of 19 agencies, and you cannot compromise all of them. He urged senators to review oil and gas laws that would assist the industry. That's a good one from this ministerial nominee. You know, he has been able to enlighten us to what bunkering is all about, because immediately when I saw the headlines, I was like, wow, who is this guy? What does he mean by this? And that is the notion every one of us has. But immediately he started explaining the whole thing. You know, he started explaining the terminology according to oil gas ideology and terms, so we begin to understand what he really meant by that. But the area which I really want to talk about is talking about the laws that we have now that they are obsolete. So what can we now say? That if eventually becomes the Minister of Petroleum, that those are the areas that he really need to work on, that most of our laws or a lot of things that we are using that are they are obsolete. So we want to tell me that the people that are there now, they are not aware of all of this is, and they are not aware of the irregularities and the abnormalities that are happening in the oil sector. Now you are talking, that is the same thing they are always saying, just like what Kachiku told us then, that before the end of 2019, that all our refineries will be ready. But what did we hear at the end of the day? He started blaming and blaming and blaming, you know, the people he could blame, that after 2019, if those refineries were not there, that he would resign. But reverse was the case. Those are the things they always come to tell us. These politicians, they always come to tell us one or two things. And what baffles me is that it is not as if these people are from outside the country. They are from us. They grew with us. They knew all of those things. These are the same people, they will come, they never wore shoe, they never had shoe, they never did this, they never did that. You know, you think that because of their humble beginning, by the time they get there, they will be able to understand what the masses are really facing. But once they get there, reverse is the case. They want to tell us what we would like to hear, and those are the things that they use in cajoling us. Those are the things they use in to woo us, and at the end of the day, we believe them. But not nowadays, nobody believes anybody. You know, just like what people used to say, that sin is believing. Until when you do something, that is when we will know that you are really serious. We have some people that will tell you, oh, a responsible government should be able to provide electricity within 6 months. But once they got there, it's a different ball game entirely. It's a different story that they are telling us. So these guys, you know, you cannot just take them for what they say, but for what is said, to a lot of people will still come and argue with that. You know, how can you be saying that? They really need to define it and pieces it. But from a layman perspective, when you look at it, you know, it's talking about that bunkering is not a crime, it's not a wrong thing, that it's just that the way we've understood it wrongly, that is what is causing this whole problem. But for the fact of what it's going to do, that is what I'm really skeptical about, because that is the same thing they will tell us. Of course, the same regime that came change, oh, we are going to do this, we are going to do that, oh, oil subsidy is a scam, this and that. If anybody tells you that they are paying for subsidy, you know, you need to ask them very well. It's just a scam. But once they got into the position, the oil subsidy they were even complaining about, they were talking about, they paid times 3 of what even the people they were castigating and they were criticizing were paying. So that is just it. So guys, that's where I'm going to stop. I would like you guys to put down your comments and let's hear your take on concerning the bunkering of a thing he said, and the new thing is going to talk about all our whatever that we are using, whether the law is talking about or the pipelines that they are obsolete, that they are supposed to review that we cannot make progress with what we have. Please put your comment down in the comment section and let's hear your own take. Thank you very much. Bye.